Stacey, this sense that Nike might have reached bottom in the fourth quarter, fiscal fourth quarter, given that the inventory numbers were higher than what was anticipated, is that idea now moot?
I think that idea now, like, let's face it, this was supposed to be the kitchen sink quarter, and we were hoping to see some improvement in inventory, and we didn't see as much as we had hoped for. So perhaps that pushes the story back a bit. And we know this is a long-term turnaround story, but I think the issue is you have to really clear out those classics, the dunks, and the other things that have been so over pushed into the market. And also, as they shrink those classics, you have to replace that with newness. And the newness, of course, is all coming at full price. They're no longer discounting. So if the brand halo has been damaged, the question is how do consumers come back into the market and say, we want Nike and we're going to pay full price for it?
And this is something that you can't fix with resetting wholesale partnerships, is it?
Well, I think it's important to do that because obviously Nike, prior to Elliott coming on, really kind of turned its back on its wholesale partners, which was a mistake. And he's trying to repair that and say, hey, let's work together as a team. Let's bring in the feedback loop so we don't have too much in the market. By the way, we're going to take stuff back from you if it doesn't sell, and we're going to sell it in factory, which is great for Nike because they get the markdown business. So it's more of a collaborative approach. And yes, it helps the market and it helps the brand halo by not having too much stuff in the market at discounted prices.
Well, I'm curious about how they reverse that, though, Stacey, because, I could just tell you anecdotally, I've seen way more sales being offered on Nike products over the past year than I had ever seen in previous years. In fact, that was always, as someone who loves Nike, that was always the bugaboo, is you pretty much had to pay full price to get at least the more fashionable stuff. There's always that trap, though, that once you start going down this discounting road, it's hard to pull out of that. And I know you've covered retail, and we've seen so many retailers fall into this trap, like Gap and a few others. Has Nike gone too far down that? Is it is it too late, I guess?
Well, that's the big problem here, is that when you've had all those discounts in the market that you're talking about, whether it's at their partner Foot Locker, which is 65% exposed to Nike, or in their direct channel, particularly e-commerce, that they've been promoting so heavily, they've removed those promotions. So now it's like the consumer's sitting there going, well, hey, there's nothing to entice us to pull the trigger. And of course, they're raising prices in some areas. And I would also say, looking into holiday, if they're taking stuff back from the market that's not working and selling it in their factory channel, could you make the argument that consumers are just going to go to their factory channel for it? Yeah.
The other thing I'm curious about is the marketing approach they take. And I know traditionally, of course, obviously going back to the big signing of Michael Jordan years ago, you sort of take a big name athlete, create a shoe line or some product line around them, and hopefully the money will run in. We've seen a shift, though, in what consumers are paying attention to. It's not just the athletes, it's just really anyone in the zeitgeist. I don't know where it stands right now, this partnership with Kim Kardashian, with the Skims line. I know it got pushed back a little bit because of some production issues, but do you see more value maybe potentially in them partnering with, I guess, decidedly non-athletes like a Kardashian family?
Good question.
Yes, and we've seen that in the past through partnerships, whether it's Adidas, with Gucci. It doesn't have to be just athletes. It just has to be, you want to be attached to the cool factor, the person, the brand, whoever it is. And, it's unfortunate that the Skims collaboration got pushed back here, but I would also say that Nike is trying to reach out to women who have largely been ignored, other than Lulu and Aloe and some others in the space, and trying to win that consumer back. So we'll probably see more of that from collaborations with female athletes.
All right.